Hello everyone. In this lesson of excellence in customer service, we're going to explore a topic that every customer service professional must deeply understand: why customers complain. Complaints are not random. Customers don't wake up in the morning thinking, "Let me complain today." They complain because something important to them was not met. If you truly understand why customers complain, you'll stop seeing complaints as problems and start seeing them as opportunities. Let's break this down step by step with real-life examples you'll easily recognize from your own experience. Expectations are not met. This is the number one reason customers complain. Customers always have expectations about quality, about speed, about behavior, about outcomes. When reality doesn't match those expectations, frustration begins. Example: a customer orders a laptop online. The website says, "Delivery in 24 hours." The laptop arrives after 4 days. The product itself may be perfect, but the expectation was broken, so the customer complains. Key insight: many complaints are not about the product or service itself, but about broken promises. Poor communication. Customers complain when they feel uninformed, ignored, confused, misled. Silence creates anxiety, and anxiety turns into complaints. Example: a customer submits a support ticket and hears nothing for 3 days. No update, no confirmation, no explanation. Even if the issue is being worked on, the customer feels, "They don't care about me." That feeling triggers a complaint. Remember, customers don't just want solutions, they want communication. Feeling disrespected or not taken seriously. Tone matters, attitude matters, body language, even in emails, matters. Customers complain when they feel talked down to, blamed, dismissed, treated like a number. Example: a customer reports a billing error. The agent responds with, "That's not possible. You must be mistaken." Now the issue is no longer just billing, it's respect. Important lesson: people can forgive mistakes, but they rarely forgive disrespect. Lack of empathy. Customers complain when they feel no one understands their situation. They want to hear, "I understand. I see how frustrating this is. I'm sorry this happened to you." Without empathy, even correct solutions feel cold and robotic. Example: a customer's flight is canceled due to technical issues. The agent says, "That's company policy." Policy may be correct, but emotionally, the customer feels abandoned. Key point: empathy doesn't mean agreeing with the customer, it means acknowledging their feelings. Previous negative experiences. Sometimes the complaint you hear today is not just about today, it's about the last time, and the time before that, and the time they stayed silent. Example: a customer finally complains angrily about slow service. In reality, this was the fourth bad experience. The first 3 were ignored. Golden rule: every unresolved issue becomes emotional baggage for the customer. Customers feel powerless. Complaints are often a way for customers to regain control. They complain when they feel stuck, trapped, unable to influence the situation. Example: a subscription keeps renewing even after cancellation attempts. The customer feels helpless. Complaining becomes the only way to be heard. Insight: complaints are sometimes a call for control, not conflict. They actually care about your brand. This may surprise you, but it's true. Customers who complain often still want to continue the relationship, believe the company can do better, expect improvement. Customers who don't care usually don't complain, they just leave. Example: a loyal customer writes a long email explaining everything that went wrong. That effort shows engagement, not hostility. Important mindset shift. Complaints often come from customers who still trust you enough to speak up. Emotional triggers. Customers are human beings. They may already be stressed, tired, under pressure, having a bad day. A small issue can feel huge in the wrong emotional state. Example: a delayed food order after a long workday. The delay might be minor, but emotionally, it's the final straw. Key takeaway: you are often dealing with emotions, not just facts. Final thought for you as a professional. Dear friends, here's the mindset I want you to walk away with. Customers complain because they care, because they expected better, and because they want to be heard. Your role in customer service excellence is not to defend, argue, prove the customer wrong. Your role is to understand, acknowledge, respond with empathy and clarity. When you understand why customers complain, you gain the power to calm situations faster, build trust, turn frustration into loyalty, and that's what excellent customer service truly looks like. In this lesson, we're going to clearly and practically understand one of the most misunderstood topics in customer service: complaint versus feedback. Many companies treat these two as the same thing, and that's a big mistake. If you understand the difference, you'll not only handle customers better, but you'll also turn negative moments into loyalty-building opportunities. Let's break it down together, step by step. What is a complaint? A complaint is an expression of dissatisfaction. It usually happens when something went wrong, expectations were not met. The customer feels frustrated, disappointed, or even angry. Complaints are emotional by nature. When a customer complains, they are saying, "Something failed and I'm not happy about it." Simple examples: "My order arrived late." "This product doesn't work as promised." "I've contacted support 3 times and nobody helped me." "This is unacceptable." Notice something important. Complaints focus on problems, failures, and negative experiences. What is feedback? Feedback is information shared by customers to help improve a product, service, or experience. Feedback can be positive, neutral, constructive. Unlike complaints, feedback is not always emotional. It's often thoughtful and solution-oriented. When customers give feedback, they are saying, "Here's my experience. Use it to improve." Simple examples: "The checkout process is good, but it could be faster." "I like the product, but more color options would be great." "Customer support was helpful, but waiting time was long." "The app is easy to use. Well done." Feedback is about insights, not anger. The core difference, in plain language. Let me put this very simply for you. A complaint is a problem that needs fixing now. Feedback is information that helps you improve later. Both are valuable, but they require different responses. Emotional level, high versus low. This is a key point you should always remember. Complaints, high emotion. Frustration, anger, disappointment. Customer wants a solution, not explanations. Example: "I paid for express delivery and received it 5 days later." Feedback, lower emotion. Calm, reflective tone. Customer wants to be heard, not necessarily compensated. Example: "It would be nice if express delivery times were clearer." Timing matters. Another major difference is when customers speak up. Complaints happen during or right after a bad experience, when something is still unresolved. Feedback happens after the experience, when customers reflect on what worked and what didn't. This means complaints are urgent, while feedback is strategic. How customers expect you to respond. This is where many service teams fail. When a customer complains, they expect immediate attention, empathy, accountability, a clear solution. Bad response: "We will look into it." Excellent response: "I understand how frustrating this is, and I'll take responsibility for fixing it right now." When a customer gives feedback, they expect appreciation, acknowledgement, openness. Bad response: "Okay." Excellent response: "Thank you for sharing this. Your feedback helps us improve our service." Real-life scenario comparison. Let's look at the same situation from 2 different angles. Scenario: restaurant experience. Complaint version: "We waited 40 minutes for our food and nobody explained why. This ruined our evening." What this means: emotional disappointment, expectation of apology and compensation, needs immediate recovery. Feedback version: "The food was great, but waiting times could be shorter during peak hours." What this means: constructive input, no immediate action required, valuable for future planning. Same situation, completely different intent. Why complaints are actually a gift. This might sound surprising, but complaints are opportunities. Why? Most unhappy customers never complain, they just leave. Complaints give you a chance to fix the relationship. A well-handled complaint can create a more loyal customer than before. When customers complain, they are still giving you a chance. Why feedback is a growth engine. Feedback is the fuel for better processes, better products, better customer journeys. Companies that actively listen to feedback innovate faster, make smarter decisions, reduce future complaints. Ignoring feedback today often creates complaints tomorrow. Common mistakes to avoid. Let's quickly cover what not to do. Treating complaints as annoying, defending yourself instead of listening, ignoring feedback because it's not urgent, responding emotionally to emotional customers. Professional service means staying calm, curious, and solution-focused. Excellence mindset, how professionals see it. Customer service excellence means understanding this mindset. Complaints equals fix the damage. Feedback equals improve the system. Both deserve respect. Both deserve attention. Both make you better if you listen. Final thought for you as a professional. If you remember only one thing from this lesson, remember this. Complaints tell you where you failed. Feedback tells you where you can grow. Mastering both is what separates average service from excellent customer service. In this part of our Excellence in Customer Service course, we're going to dive deep into a topic that every customer service professional will face sooner or later: the psychology of angry customers. I want you to imagine this lesson as a friendly conversation between us. You're not just learning theory here, you're learning how to stay calm, confident, and professional when emotions are running high on the other side of the conversation. Why do customers get angry? Let's start with a very important mindset shift. Angry customers are rarely angry at you. They are angry at a situation. Most customer anger comes from one or more of these psychological triggers. Unmet expectations. Customers always have expectations about speed, quality, price, or treatment. Example: a customer orders a product with next-day delivery. It arrives 3 days later. From the customer's perspective, a promise has been broken. Emotionally, this feels like, I trusted you. You didn't respect my time. That emotional disappointment quickly turns into anger. Feeling ignored or disrespected. Nothing fuels anger faster than feeling invisible. Example: a customer emails support and receives no response for 2 days. When they finally get a reply, it's a generic copy-paste message. Psychologically, the customer thinks, they don't care, I'm just a number. Once a customer feels disrespected, their emotional defenses go up. Loss of control. Anger often appears when people feel powerless. Example: a flight is cancelled and the customer is told, there's nothing we can do. The problem isn't just the cancellation, it's the feeling of having zero control over the situation. Accumulated stress. Sometimes, you are not the main problem, you are the final trigger. Example: a customer has had a bad day at work, traffic was terrible, and now a billing issue appears. The anger you hear may be the result of everything piling up. What happens in the brain when a customer is angry? This is critical to understand. When a customer is angry, the emotional part of the brain takes control. Logical thinking decreases. Listening skills drop significantly. That's why they may interrupt you. They may repeat the same complaint. They may sound unreasonable. Logic does not calm anger. Emotion does. This is why saying things like, according to our policy, that's not how it works, often makes the situation worse in the beginning. Common behaviors of angry customers and what they mean. Let's break down some typical behaviors you'll encounter. Raised voice or aggressive tone. This is often a sign of frustration, fear of not being taken seriously. Important reminder: a loud voice is usually a request for attention, not a personal attack. Repeating the same complaint. When customers repeat themselves, it usually means, I don't feel heard yet. They repeat because emotionally, the issue still feels unresolved. Blaming you personally. Phrases like, you people always mess things up. This is your fault. Psychologically, this is a defense mechanism. Blame helps them release emotional pressure. What angry customers really want. Here's a powerful truth. Most angry customers don't want compensation first. They want understanding first. They want to feel heard, understood, respected, taken seriously. Only after these emotional needs are met do solutions actually matter. Example: 2 customers receive the same refund. One leaves happy, the other leaves furious. Why? Because one felt listened to and the other didn't. The role of empathy in diffusing anger. Empathy is not agreement. Empathy is recognition of emotion. What empathy sounds like. I can hear how frustrating this has been for you. I understand why you're upset. If I were in your position, I'd feel the same way. These statements do something powerful. They tell the customer, your emotions are valid. Once emotions are validated, intensity drops. Why arguing never works. When you argue with an angry customer, you create a power struggle. The customer tries to win. Emotions escalate. Example: customer, this is unacceptable. Agent, actually, it is acceptable according to our policy. At that moment, the conversation becomes customer versus company, and no one wins. The turning point, from anger to cooperation. Anger usually decreases when customers feel someone is taking ownership. There is a clear next step. The situation is moving forward. Example: instead of saying, I can't do anything, say, here's what I can do for you right now. This restores a sense of control, and control reduces anger. Real-life customer service scenario. Let's bring everything together with a realistic example. Customer, I've been calling for 3 days. This service is a joke. Poor response. You should have waited for our response. Psychologically smart response. I can hear how frustrating this has been, especially after trying for several days. Thank you for your patience. Let's fix this together now. Notice the difference. Emotion is acknowledged. Respect is shown. Cooperation is invited. Key takeaways for you as a professional. Before we close this lesson, remember these core principles. Angry customers are emotional, not irrational. Emotion must be addressed before logic. Empathy is your strongest tool. Validation calms anger. Solutions work best after emotions settle. Final thought. Here's something I want you to remember as you move forward in your customer service career. Every angry customer is a chance to turn frustration into loyalty. Handled poorly, anger creates complaints. Handled professionally, anger creates trust. As part of our Excellence in Customer Service course, this lesson is extremely important because complaints are not problems, they are opportunities. Handled poorly, a complaint can lose a customer forever. Handled professionally, it can create loyalty stronger than before the problem even existed. In this lesson, I'll walk you through a clear step-by-step complaint handling model, using real-life examples and a friendly, practical approach, just like you'll experience on the job. Why you need a complaint handling model. Before we start the steps, let's understand why a structured model matters. Without a model, you react emotionally, you interrupt the customer, you rush to solutions. You may blame systems, colleagues, or the customer. With a model, you stay calm and professional. You control the conversation. You build trust step by step. You turn frustration into satisfaction. Now let's go step by step. Step 1. Listen actively, without interrupting. This is the most important step, and the one most people fail at. When a customer complains, they usually want 2 things: to be heard, to be taken seriously. What active listening means. Let the customer finish speaking. Do not interrupt. Do not defend yourself. Do not explain yet. Focus fully on the customer. Example: customer, I've called 3 times already and nobody fixed my issue. This is unacceptable. Wrong response. Actually, our system shows that. Correct response. I understand. Please tell me exactly what happened from the beginning. Tip: silence is powerful. Let the customer talk. The more they talk, the calmer they become. Step 2. Acknowledge the complaint. Show you understand. Acknowledging is not the same as admitting fault. It simply means you recognize the customer's experience. What to say? I understand how frustrating this must be. I can see why you're upset. Thank you for explaining the situation. Example: customer, I wasted my entire morning waiting for a delivery that never came. Response: I completely understand how frustrating that is. Your time is valuable, and I'm really sorry this happened. Avoid robotic phrases like, we apologize for the inconvenience, cold and generic. Step 3. Apologize sincerely, even if it's not your fault. This step is non-negotiable in excellent customer service. A professional apology reduces anger, builds emotional connection, shows accountability. Important rule. You are apologizing for the experience, not necessarily the mistake. Strong apology example. I'm really sorry that you had this experience. That's not the level of service we want for you. Weak apology. I'm sorry, but this is not our fault. The word but cancels your apology. Never use it. Step 4. Clarify and ask smart questions. Now that emotions are calmer, it's time to understand the root cause. Why this step matters. If you solve the wrong problem, the complaint will return. Ask questions like, may I confirm a few details? When did this issue first occur? Which order number are you referring to? Example, just to make sure I fully understand, your order was scheduled for yesterday between 9 and 12, correct? This shows professionalism, attention to detail, seriousness. Step 5. Take ownership, even if another department is responsible. Customers do not care about internal departments. They only see you. Ownership language. I will personally follow up on this. I'll take responsibility for resolving this. Let me handle this for you. Example, instead of, this is the warehouse department's issue, say, I'll contact our warehouse team immediately and make sure this is resolved for you. Ownership builds trust faster than anything else. Step 6. Offer a clear and realistic solution. Now we move to action. A good solution must be clear, realistic, time-bound. Example solutions: replacement, refund, priority service, discount or compensation. Example, here's what I can do for you. I'll arrange a replacement today and you'll receive it within 24 hours. I'll also apply a 10% discount for the inconvenience. Avoid vague promises like, we'll look into it. Someone will contact you. Step 7. Confirm agreement with the customer. Never assume the customer is satisfied with your solution. Ask directly, does this solution work for you? Would this resolve the issue for you today? Example, does this solution meet your expectations, or would you like us to explore another option? This makes the customer feel in control. Step 8. Take action immediately. Words mean nothing without action. Best practices. Act while the customer is still engaged. Document the complaint. Follow internal procedures. Keep promises. Example, I've just processed the replacement order. You'll receive a confirmation email in the next 5 minutes. Speed equals credibility. Step 9. Follow up. This is where excellence lives. Most companies stop after solving the issue. Excellent service goes one step further. Follow-up example. Email or call the customer. Confirm the issue is resolved. Thank them for their patience. I'm just calling to confirm that your replacement arrived and everything is now resolved. This step builds loyalty, reduces repeat complaints, creates brand advocates. Step 10. Learn from the complaint. Every complaint is free feedback. Ask yourself, what caused this issue? How can we prevent it? Is this a recurring problem? Great customer service teams improve systems, not just solve individual cases. Final thought for you as a professional. Remember this, a customer who complains is giving you a second chance. A customer who stays silent simply leaves. If you master this step-by-step complaint handling model, you won't just solve problems, you'll create trust, loyalty, and long-term customer relationships. In this lesson, we're going to talk about one of the most powerful skills in customer service, turning complaints into opportunities. Now, I want you to remember something very important right from the start. Complaints are not problems. Complaints are opportunities in disguise. If you can truly understand and apply this mindset, you'll move from good service to excellent service. Why customers complain, and why that's actually good news. First, let's clear up a big misconception. Many people think a complaining customer is a difficult customer. In reality, a complaining customer is an engaged customer. Most unhappy customers don't complain at all. They simply leave, quietly, and they never come back. So when someone complains, they care enough to speak up. They are giving you a second chance. They are telling you exactly where your service can improve. That's valuable information, and it's free. The mindset shift. from defensive to curious. One of the biggest mistakes in customer service is becoming defensive. Bad mindset. This isn't my fault. The customer is exaggerating. They don't understand how things work. Excellent mindset. What can I learn from this? What is the customer really experiencing? How can I make this right? When you hear a complaint, don't ask, who is wrong? Ask instead, what went wrong and how can I improve the experience? Step 1. Listen without interrupting. This step alone can turn an angry customer into a calm one. When customers complain, they want two things: to be heard, to be taken seriously. What not to do: interrupt, correct them mid-sentence, jump too quickly to solutions. What excellent service looks like: let them finish, use calm, respectful language, show you're listening. Example: thank you for explaining that. I understand why that would be frustrating. Sometimes, customers calm down just because someone finally listened. Step 2. Acknowledge the emotion, not just the issue. Here's a key lesson many people miss. Customers complain about feelings, not just facts. The issue might be a late delivery, a wrong bill, or a system error, but the emotion is frustration, disappointment, or feeling ignored. Compare these two responses. The delivery was delayed due to high demand. I understand how frustrating it is to wait longer than expected. The second response doesn't argue. It validates the customer's experience, and validation builds trust. Step 3. Take ownership, even if it's not your fault. Customers don't care about internal departments, systems, or policies. They care about one thing. Is someone taking responsibility? Excellent service language sounds like, let me take care of this for you. I'll make sure this gets resolved. I'm responsible for following this through. Even if the issue started somewhere else, you are the face of the solution. Ownership creates confidence. Step 4. Offer a meaningful solution. Not all solutions are equal. A weak solution fixes the problem but ignores the experience. A strong solution fixes the problem and repairs trust. For example, refund plus apology, replacement plus faster delivery, correction plus small goodwill gesture. The goal isn't just to close the complaint. The goal is to make the customer think, they really cared about fixing this. Step 5. Follow up. This is where excellence lives. Most companies stop once the issue is solved. Excellent companies go one step further. A short follow-up message like, I just wanted to check if everything is now working as expected. This does 3 powerful things: shows professionalism, builds long-term trust, turns a negative memory into a positive one. Many loyal customers say, I stayed because of how they handled the problem. Real-life example. Complaint turned into loyalty. Imagine this scenario. A customer receives the wrong product. They're annoyed and contact support. Average service. Apologizes, replaces the item, ends the interaction. Excellent service. Apologizes sincerely, replaces the item quickly, acknowledges the inconvenience, adds a small bonus or note, follows up later. Result? The customer doesn't just forgive the mistake, they remember the care. Mistakes are forgotten, great recovery is remembered. Complaints as a personal growth tool. As customer service professionals, complaints help you grow too. Each complaint teaches you where communication can improve, where expectations weren't clear, where systems may be failing. Instead of fearing complaints, use them to improve your skills, improve your confidence, improve your professional value. Final thought for you as a professional. Let me leave you with this. Anyone can provide good service when everything goes well. Excellence shows itself when things go wrong. If you can turn complaints into opportunities, you build stronger relationships. You create loyal customers. You stand out as a true professional.